Andy's in Stamford. Andy, what would you like to say?
Hello, James.
Hello,
Thank you for having me on.
You're
today.
very welcome. I'm surprised you're still awake, mate, after that little diatribe, quite frankly. But we
fine.
Carry on.
It's absolutely fine. It's interesting you're saying about unicorns and fact-checking, because I'm guilty of buying a unicorn and not checking.
You're not, mate. Forgive me for splitting hairs. I'm doing a quick fact check already. You're not guilty of buying a unicorn. You might have bought a promise of a unicorn, but you certainly didn't buy a unicorn.
I'm certainly hoping that we get the chance to do something about this.
Really?
I like a lot of people. I cast my vote in 2016. I was an ardent Brexiteer, and I cast it in good faith that bringing what I believe to be the chance to make our own laws back in this country again, and I believe we'd be able to form our own trade deals, and it would somehow make our country better. And I believed the politicians, and I used to watch a lot of debates with late night debates with Gisela, Stuart, Andrea Leadsom on the Leave campaign. It really spoke to me, and I thought, wow, we could actually prosper should we leave the European Union and set our own path. But it's took me 2.5 years since the vote, but it's took me a long time to realise that I bought a dud. I want my money back, James.
When did the needle start to move? Can you remember, or has it just been incremental? I'm one of these people. I go on social media. I follow Remainers and Leavers, and I sort of try to argue the Brexit case, and people will be saying their side of the story, and I'll be saying my side. And it got to the point where I was reading these conversations I was having with other people, and I'm agreeing with everything they're saying, and looking at what I've written and thinking, I don't back that anymore. It's rubbish. What I was writing was just. And they are queuing up to tell you that you did vote for what's happening now, and that anyone like me who suggests that you didn't is patronising you, condescending to you, and misrepresenting you.
Well, what I've also had, I've had several people actually turn around to me and said to me, I bet you didn't vote Leave in the first place. You're just saying you voted Leave.
Well, that's why we've done the whole 3 hours on it today, because even if we had everyone at RADA currently pretending to be what you are clearly telling the truth about, we wouldn't be able to fill 3 hours.
I simply said to these people, just go back through my timeline, read my tweets. That's all you have to do, is just go back, read my tweets, and you'll see what side of the argument I was on. But,
you mentioned Andrea Leadsom playing a role in your... and now, of course, Andrea Leadsom is one of the leading exponents of the idea that you shouldn't be allowed to change your mind. Do you mean? That's right, Do you mean this, Andrea Leadsom?
I'm going to nail my colours to the mast here. I don't think the UK should leave the EU. I think it would be a disaster for our economy, and it would lead to a decade of economic and political uncertainty at a time when the tectonic plates of global success are moving.
Do you mean that, Andrea Leadsom?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, well, turns out she's allowed to change her mind, Andy. I don't know what it is for the likes of you that somehow renders you not allowed to exercise that sort of privilege. Especially when it's her job to understand this stuff. I don't know what you do for a living, but I doubt it's your job to understand this stuff and explain it to the public.
Well, I mean, I work in the steel industry. So obviously, it's an industry I wanted to thrive, and I've worked in manufacturing for years, and I sort of believed that a future outside the EU would help that. And I look at what are the facts, not the lies that were peddled.
Or even the theories that are unprovable, because you can take them as relief to each other. So you can say, here's one theory and here's the other. And that's where you would be with the German car industry, for example. But they're not theories anymore. We know what the German car industry is or is not going to do with regard to our intent to leave the European Union. So that is now a fact. That has changed. What was a theory with a contradictory theory has become a fact that brooks no contradiction, but somehow they claim that you knew what you were voting for. That's what I think I'm getting most frustrated by at the moment, is this ludicrous claim that you voted for the polar opposite of what you were told would happen.
I mean, they say Leavers know what they voted for, but they don't. Parliament's proof of that. Parliament is absolute. Every Brexiteer in Parliament, if Leavers knew what they were voting for, they'd all be behind the same thing that all say we want this, but they don't. You've got some that want a WTO exit. You've got some that want,
You've got Gove and Johnson, the two flipping leaders, the two leaders of the whole shebang, going through different lobbies on the only vote that they should have been able to have on the question of the withdrawal agreement. That's the only one that we're able to negotiate.
Exactly.
Andy,
exactly.
mate,
and I just want to say to you and every other person in this country that's listening who voted to remain in the European Union, that I am so sorry. I went the wrong way on this. I can see.
Well, I want to say to you,
any project fear or anything. Project fear is project fact. I haven't been swayed on anything. But the information is out there, and people should make the effort. They should read it. I didn't when I should have done.
Well, nor did I. And that's why today's show is today's show, because all of these plausible, utterly nothing to do with racism or bigotry or immigration, millions of people with millions of reasons for doing something that, for the record, Andy, you have absolutely no need to apologise for. The people who persuaded you to go down that path, perhaps, have something to apologise for, but I'm so full of the joys of spring today that even they perhaps deserve a break. Maybe they were just wrong rather than actually being deliberately deceptive. Except Boris Johnson.